الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن دعا بدعوته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله وطاعته لعلكم تفلحون أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله ومن يؤمن بالله يهد قلبه والله بكل شيء عليم صدق الله العظيم. Fellow Muslims blessed by Allah Almighty, let us increase the level of our awareness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by fulfilling all His commands and avoiding all His prohibitions. May our lives always head towards the route that is approved by Allah the Almighty. Let us ponder upon the sermon to be delivered by the member today, entitled Instilling Realization from Tragedy. As a reminder for all of us, let us be consistent in performing acts of worship and acts of obedience, visiting the mosque and surahs through obligatory salat in congregation, performing i'tikaf and following the program's schedule. Besides that, educate our family members, especially to perform the obligation of salat, to recite the Holy Al-Quran, and to fill our time during the school holidays with beneficial activities. As a sign of love for one another, let us perform Amar Ma'ruf and Nahi Munkar and reinvigorate the brotherhood among us. In the current inclement weather with heavy rains occurring, let us be ever vigilant at all times so as to avoid any untoward incidents. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect and save all of us, our family members and the society all over the country. The Khatib would like to take this opportunity to remind the congregation today that we are coming to the end of the year. Therefore, to those who have yet to contribute their zakat, please hurry up to perform it at the counters located within the zakat collection centers of the Federal Territories Islamic Religious Council, or do it online through the PPZ-MAWIP website. Fellow Muslims blessed by Allah the Almighty, our life on earth will never be able to avoid trials and challenges. Such challenges would always happen to mankind in order to test mankind's ability in facing and accepting it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves His servants who are always patient, accepting and surrendering to Him when faced with trials and challenges. What happened to them? Ponder upon what has been stated by Allah the Almighty in Surah Al-Taghabun, verse 11, as read at the beginning of this sermon and having the following meanings. No kind of calamity can occur except by the leave of Allah, and if anyone believes in Allah, Allah guides his heart all right, for all knows all things. Imam Ibn Kathir indicated in his book, Tafsir Al-Quran Al-Azim, that verse explained about a person who is faced with a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after which he realized that whatever has happened has been determined and preordained by the Almighty. He would be accepting of it, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall enlighten his heart with guidance, lift his honor, provide him with rewards, and replace what he has lost with something much better. We have been given fair warning by the authorities regarding the phenomena of continuous heavy rainfall, which may result in great floods in various locations, especially in the East Coast states. However, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really knows how bad it shall be. Islam has actually taught us regarding the importance of being on guard and ever ready at all times, while also putting our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty over all things. Fellow Muslims blessed by Allah the Almighty, it is clear that mankind is very weak in the estimation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The occurrence of great floods this time shall be a very big test for victims involved. They would not only lose their valuable possession, but would also face mental and physical challenges. Even worse, there will be victims who will lose their loved one to the floods. As Muslims, no matter what form of test comes to us, we must have faith that the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always with us. Each predetermination of His would surely contain many hidden wisdoms and good. We should face natural calamities not only with patience and acceptance, but we must also take heed of the lessons to be learned from the event. Even though we are not affected by the tragedy, but as human beings with faith, we must delve into feelings of those who feel the hardship and sadness. The floods would surely bring untold damage to all types of buildings, infrastructure, and facilities in the area. Let us take the opportunity to do good deeds by contributing our energy towards cleaning up the homes of the victims, the premises that are affected, such as mosques, surahs, schools, halls, and the like. Indeed, they are in dire need of assistance, especially those who face damage to their homes and vehicles that would surely involve huge monetary loss. As proof of our love and solidarity for the states that are experiencing natural calamities, the Islamic Affairs Department of the Federal Territories has launched a flood assistance mission through the collection of donation on Fridays at all mosques and Friday surahs within the Federal Territories, with the aim of helping to alleviate the burden faced by the victims of the floods through the giving of funds and even basic necessities such as rice, sugar, cooking oil, flour, drinking water, and so on. And also personal family required items such as blanket, like mattresses, infant needs, female hygiene pads, bathing kits, electrical appliances, cleaning gear, and others. Indeed, Islam instructs us to be mindful of the burden and difficulties faced by others. Point upon what has been stated in a hadith narrated by Al-Imam Muslim from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man nafasa an mu'minin kurbatan min kurabi dunya nafasa Allahu anhu kurbatan min kurabi yawmil qiyamah. Wa ma yassara ala mu'asirin yassara Allahu alaihi fid dunya wal akhirah." Which means, whomever lightens one of the burdens carried by a fellow mu'min in this life, Allah shall lighten one of the burdens carried by him in the hereafter. And whomever ease something difficult, Allah shall ease him from the burdens in this life and the hereafter. Therefore, grab the opportunity in coming together and helping to alleviate the burden shouldered by the victims, no matter their background, race, ethnicity, or religion. Besides that, give them the moral support of facing such as challenging situation, so that they have the spirit to rise again and build a better life in the future. Let us together supplicate so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall grant protection, safety, and tranquility to our nation from the floods. The Khatib would like to remind everyone to accept and to be patient with the test we are facing. Continue to strive and make the effort to prepare, beginning with our attitude and our morals, by ensuring that whatever development project to be carried out shall take into consideration the possibility that it could lead to tragedies happening in the future. We must all be responsible enough to protect, preserve, and make every effort possible. And finally, supplicate and leave it to Allah the Almighty to protect all of us. Fellow Muslims, blessed by Allah the Almighty, the conclusion that we make from the sermon delivered today are: first, have faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves all His servants very much, especially those who are patient, accepting, and surrendering to Him when faced with all the challenges in life. Second, each test and challenge that happened to us would surely have many wisdom attached to it. Take heed of the lessons learned and realize that we must be mindful when faced with each of the tests and tragedy that befalls us, if we are to gain great rewards from Allah the Almighty. Third, let us be concerned citizens who would provide assistance to victims of natural calamities in our country, no matter their religion, race, and or ethnicity in order to lighten their suffering. Let us ponder upon what has been stated by Allah the Almighty in Surah At-Tawbah verse 51. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل لن يصيبنا إلا ما كتب الله لنا هو مولانا وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون. Sadaqallahul Azim, which means, say, nothing will happen to us except what Allah has decreed for us. He is our protector, and on Allah let the believers put their trust. Barakallahu li wa lakum bil Qur'anil Azim, wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bima fihi min al-ayati wadh-dhikril hakim, wa taqabbala minni wa minkum tilawatahu innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله حق تقاته واعلموا أن الله أمركم بأمر عظيم، أمركم بالصلاة والتسليم على نبيه الكريم، فقال الله تعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. صدق الله العظيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وارض اللهم عن الخلفاء الراشدين وعن بقية الصحابة أجمعين وعن التابعين وتابع التابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين، وارض عنا معهم يا أكرم الأكرمين. اللهم اغفر المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم أيد بدوام التوفيق والهداية والصحة والسلامة صاحب الجلالة Malikana ke bawah duli yang maha mulia, Seri Paduka Baginda yang di-Pertuan Agong As-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah Ibn Al-Marhum Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Al-Musta'in Billah. Wa kadzalika sahibatul jalalah ke bawah duli yang maha mulia, Seri Paduka Baginda Raja Pemaisuri Agong Tunku Hajjah Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariyah binti Al-Marhum Al-Mutawakkil ala Allah Sultan Iskandar Al-Haj. اللهم اجعل بلدنا ماليزيا آمنا مطمئنا سخاء رخاء دار عدل وإيمان وأمن وأمان وسائر بلاد المسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين وانصر من نصر الدين واخذل من خذل المسلمين واعلي كلمتك إلى يوم الدين. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من البرص والجنون waljudham wa min sayyi'il asqam. Allahumma ya Allah, dengan sifat-Mu yang maha pemurah dan maha pendengar, Engkaulah yang maha berkuasa atas tiap-tiap sesuatu. Kami hamba-Mu yang lemah merayu agar Engkau ampunkan segala dosa yang telah kami lakukan. Jadikanlah kami dan keturunan kami hamba-hamba-Mu yang istiqamah mendirikan salat secara berjamaah serta tekun mengimarahkan masjid dan surau. Allahumma ya Allah, cukupkanlah kami dengan rezeki yang halal dan jauhkanlah kami dari rezeki yang haram. Cukupkanlah kami dengan kurniaan-Mu daripada bergantung kepada selain-Mu, dan dengan rezeki itu kami dapat membayar zakat dan wakaf tunai ke pusat pungutan zakat Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan. Berkatilah dan rahmatilah segala usaha kami dalam memenuhi kewajipan zakat dan wakaf pada jalan-Mu ya Allah, dan jadikanlah ini sebagai saham kami di akhirat kelak. Allahumma ya Allah, permudahkanlah nawib dalam mengagihkan zakat kepada asnaf dan menguruskan harta wakaf dengan sebaiknya demi manfaat umat Islam di wilayah persekutuan. Allahumma ya Allah, dengan sifat-Mu yang maha penyayang, satukanlah hati kami, satukanlah kami atas agama-Mu, dan hindarkan kami dari perselisihan dan yang berpanjangan. Jadikanlah kami orang yang jujur dan berintegriti dalam melaksanakan amanah yang telah diberikan kepada kami. Peliharalah kami daripada melakukan kejahatan, kemaksiatan, perbuatan rasuah, pecah amanah dan penyelewengan yang membawa kerosakan kepada agama, bangsa dan negara. Allahumma ya Allah, kurniakanlah pada kami kesejahteraan, keamanan, keselamatan serta perlindungan daripada fitnah, musibah, bala bencana dan wabak penyakit berbahaya khususnya COVID-19. Sesungguhnya hanya kepadamu jualah ya Allah doa kami diperkenankan dan diterima. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzabannar. Ibadallah, inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dzil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsya'i wal munkari wal baghi يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم واسألوه من فضله يعطكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون أقم الصلاة.